Hello gamers, today we have another series from the Unova Champions League, week 1 still. We have ZPanther against My Chemical Yuri, that's a great name. But his core name is Sylveon HRT, I believe. And this series should be pretty interesting to watch. I believe these players are both in the lower stars rating, so they're bit newer than others, which means we get to see maybe some, well, sometimes they make funny plays, yes, so do I, but this should be a great teaching experience, hopefully. Alright, so game 1 we have a hyper offense team from ZPanther versus Rain. So these Rain teams usually run like Pursuit Scissor Scarf to get rid of Alakazam and Latios to open up Keldeo sweep. Keldeo is often specs here. Some people run double Scarf, but I don't know. I think it's very greedy or fishy, maybe I should say, because it's great into hyper offense, obviously, but you're giving up a lot of firepower. But maybe Scarf is better still, because else your mono Scarf Scissor, your team is not that good, probably. Well, anyway, beyond that we have probably Double Hazards, Ferrothorn, Thundurus, could be Agility. Pursuit Scissor also helps Thundurus, right? You kill Latios or Latias, or at least annoy them to the enough until HPI kills them, and then yeah, Politoed is probably bulky, max defense, team is very ground weak, so you need something that at least doesn't die in one. You have Balloon, Starmie, and Thundurus, but you know, it's not like you can run many other Toad sets on this. Maybe you can make a case for like specs, but I think it's too weak defensively. It's already weak defensively as is. As for ZPanther, we have probably Sashchomp with Rocks, Sword Dance Lucario, DD Dragonite. The meta now is to run Leftovers DD, even in Weatherless, but on this type of build, I would probably run Lumberry. Because if, say you are against Rotom, you have no play if Rotom gets in for free and is at full, except maybe going Conk, but you know, it's not the best. Whereas if you have Dragonite with Lumberry, you just go Dragonite and DD up for free. Or, I don't know, you can do other stuff, obviously, but I think it's best on this team, but I don't know. Jirachi, obviously, Scarf, Feeling Wish, Starmie, Balloon, nothing groundbreaking here. The Lucario is the odd choice. I think it's okay in hyper offense. You force, for example, if you force out a Draco Meteor on Dragonite from Latios, then you get a free setup with Chomp, with Lucario, sorry. But also Chomp could also bait in a Meteor. So yeah, it's an interesting adaptation. The main issue of replacing Volk with Lucario is that you have no special attacker except for Starmie, who is decent but not too strong. So there's a world where you get walled pretty hard by a lot of stuff. It's also a bit Intimidate weak. Like if you face max speed Lando, Chomp will be dead probably by the time Lando comes out, and then you only have Kong to beat that, because Lucario is lower and dies to Earthquake. Most of the times, at least. Depends on the Lando spread, obviously. So you lead Chomp. It will be probably Chomp into Toad. I Sword Dance with Chomp or one. I'm that kind of guy. I'm assuming it's either Yachos or Sash, obviously. If it's not, well, I mean, it could be Rocks Rachi, like Rocks mixed Rachi and like Swords and Chomp. That could actually be a thing. I'm going with Sash Chomp and leading and clicking Sword Dance. That's what I expect. And Politoed Scald. Alright. Nope. Conk and Politoed. Conk is okay, but you're kind of... Oh, wait. Hammer Arm. What? Is this choice spent? That did too late. Is this Fist Plate? I guess it's Fist Plate. Okay, so this is a cool set. I'm not sure it's good, but it's cool, right? So you hammer arm the Toad, do decent damage, and then the Politoed will probably switch out the next turn because it cannot kill you. Although you revealed that you're probably in Iron Fist. Does Iron Fist boost hammer arm? I don't think it does. Maybe it does. I don't know. And then the idea is that your opponent, in this case, has no real switching into Focus Punch. Like, everything dies. Starmie will take, I don't know, 70% from Focus Punch. Head calc, correct? Wrong? I don't know. Thundurus will take a bit less, sure, but do you really want to lose half of your Thundurus health for this? So, yeah, but Sylveon correctly protects. And then Skulls again, good play. Burn, unfortunate. Yep, it is Iron Fist. It still does a lot of damage. Wow. But yeah, Conk. Oh, he's saving Conk because he can Healing Wish it up. Which is okay. Not sure I like it. Conk is pretty weak in this matchup beyond the lead bit, right? There's a Keldeo and Thundurus. Chomp comes out. Handshake rocks. Oh, it is Chain Chomp, and it creates Ferrothorn Rain. Would have not killed, obviously. Without that, pretty lucky. Oh, yeah, it just sucks for the spin block. Good play. Problem is you don't block spin because Starmie doesn't die to U-turn, I believe. Oh, never mind. She decides to save Starmie. That's fine too. And here he goes. What? Wait, is it not Scarf Scissor? You have Rocks up, right? So with Scissor, you can just U-turn if it's Scarf, obviously. I'm assuming that, but I don't know why you would run Scissor without that. There are options that are not Scarf Scissor, but with Keldeo... Well, anyway, if I'm right, I think you should go Scissor on the Starmie. If you're Sylveon, right? You click your turn, and your opponent has to either go Chomp, that's probably ZPanther's best play, but then you get Keldeo in and just click Water move. Yeah, but then Starmie comes in on Keldeo, it's a bit annoying, I guess. But you can hard the Scissor, maybe? Go for the epic outplay? That's what I will do. I guess the problem with Starmie here is that you're banking on the speed tie, right? And you cannot even... Usually you want to lose the speed tie because Thunderbolt does not kill without analytic. So if both are at 88, I believe it doesn't kill. It's a roll probably, but at 76 you are there just to play the 50-50, right? The speed tie. Now the thingy down here spoils what's happening. Yeah. Sylveon wins the tie and Thunderstar me. Goodbye. And this is pretty dangerous for ZPanther because rocks are up. So Dragonite is kind of weak. Saving Starmie, not sure. Yeah, sure, that's fine. And now you click Ice Move on Keldeo. You should have Ice Move, right? And yeah, it is Leftovers Denied, but even if it was Slam. Right here you switch out to Thundurus, sure. I don't know if it matters that much, but yeah. Sylveon should win from here. Even if Rachi goes crazy with, like, there's no way it kills 4 with Iron Head, right? Yep, and yeah, it's done. You Thunder the Lucario, and then it's, yeah. And now you go Keldeo, click Surf twice, and the game is gone. What lost this game? If I'm ZPanther, what am I expecting here? Let me see the first few turns. I think the Conkeldurr set was a bit sus. That's my take. I will probably not lead Conk. Actually, no, leading Conk is fine, right? Because you hammer turn 1, and then you switch out. I think you don't focus punch. But maybe if he doesn't get hammer arm, if he doesn't get burned by Skull, then it's fine. But you got scalded twice, so that's what, 51% chance of burn. I mean, you obviously you don't really have a play at that point. You cannot switch anything into Scald Politoed. So I guess, yeah, a bit unlucky mostly. Without burn, does something change? Probably not, because you still sacrifice the conch to block spin. That was a good play. Didn't even cross my mind. Yeah, I think it's just a bit unlucky with the Scald rolls, but it's a 50-50 basically. And Politoed is very strong into you. Like, yeah, probably. I think the team is a bit sus. Maybe both this Conk and Lucario too much, maybe. Replace Luke, not with Volk. I mean, Volk wouldn't solve the issue. But then what do you place here? Like Latios? Nah, Band-Aid, not good. Nah, you just accept that if Politoed bursts your Conkel, you're in a tough spot, I think. Alright, on to game 2. Here we have another Lucario. This guy really likes Lucario, it seems. Which is fine. Lucario is a nice one. Like, it's not particularly solid, but it has its moment. Like, look at this matchup, for example. Right, if you get a Sword Dance up, and you have Stealth Rock plus 1 layer of spikes, and it's Life Orb Zam and Scarf Latios like it is in the sample, which this probably is, like, you kind of sweep. There's a few things, obviously. There's a Landorus T, kind of annoying. But say you get a free turn Lucario versus Ferrothorn early game, and you click Ice Punch on the Landorus, then it's almost 1. Or you can even hard close combat. That would also open up for a probable double dance Landorus sweep. I expect this Landorus to be double dance on this team, because we have Scaramgelli, right? This is click hazards, bash your head in, just attack until you win. Leads. This is a pretty not a great lead for Sylveon HRT here. She could probably lead Keldeo and Scald the Skarmory turn 1. If that's with Chaos, it's fine. The problem with that is depends on your Keldeo moveset. If it's the sample one, so HPIs, Protect, you're kind of stuck in with Jelly, in the sense that you can't afford like nothing on your team switches on Jelly, unless you're Lamferrothorn, which it is on the sample again. I'm going off like what I'm expecting, which I'm expecting just the 1-to-1 sample here. So if that's the case, you should probably lead Keldeo, Scald the Skarmory turn 1, then double to Ferrothorn. Your opponent should Stealth Rock turn 1, and, well, Scald Bulls with KO, so what do they do? Do you go Jelly on the Keldeo? That's kind of also not great. Okay, I will lead Keldeo. It makes it hard for ZPanther to get plays right. Yeah, you also do have to get plays right, but less so. In fact, I think you can even do the insane play of going Keldeo turn 1, Scald the Skarmory, and then go Zam if Jellicent comes out, and then immediately back into Ferrothorn. That has to be the the optimal sequence, right? That's what I will do. As for ZPanther, honestly, just leave Skarmory and click rocks. There's not much to say about his lines. And yeah, you kind of have to Skarmory into and then go Jellicent if your opponent goes Keldeo, and if you are in a Jellicent versus Zam situation, you have to probably switch out, but it's fine because your opponent should also switch out. Because Life Orb, Zam would have to grass. You can even go hard back into Skarmory, which is what I will do. So I think the play is Skarmory, Jellicent, Skarmory. This is all assuming she leads Keldeo, which I think she should. Leading Landorus is very tempting because you get free rocks on Skarmory. The problem with that is that then you U-turn out and break Sash. Yes, great, or rather sturdy. But then what? What do you send? You can send Keldeo, but that forces 2 spikes on your field, which you probably don't want to deal with. So yeah, let's see what happens. I could be completely wrong, but at least this lead is correct one. Oh, immediately into Ferrothorn. ZPanther doesn't care and rocks, which is the right play, mind you. Good taunt. Not sure what Sylveon is trying to accomplish here. Because now you are up against 3 spikes. It's Fire move Titar, and it will do 60%, give or take. With Flamethrower. Oh, it's Fire Blast too, so never mind. 89. Wow. Brave Bird, I mean, yeah, Skarmory is dead. You could maybe... Nah, just Brave Bird. Right, Landorus, never mind, looks like it's Scarf Lando. Okay, surely you don't run a defensive Lando on this build, right? So it's probably Scarf. I was expecting Double Dance to open things up for Lucario, or the other way around, but looks like I was wrong, and it's just good old Scarf Lando, which is good, but yeah, let's see. Zam comes out. So you are probably Life Orb Zam on here, right? Especially after the Lando reveal. So it's very unlikely that it carries HPIs. I mean, it could, but it's probably fire. So Landorus is a pretty solid switch in from full like this. And you just U-turn out. Opponent doesn't have many good plays. Yeah, Lando, I guess. But Keldeo. Oh, it's Protect Keldeo, so... Wait, no, it's not. It's not Leftovers. Okay, I'm just not getting a single one right. So this is probably Belt then, I would guess. Icy Wind, sure. HP, Ghost. Grass, probably Ghost. And Wisp Miss. And she gets the roll too. So Jelly is mega dead. But here comes the hard part, I think, for Sylveon, because your Titar is dead, which means that this Psyshock is about to do 1000. You probably go Ferret, or do you? Do you toss Keldeo or Ferret? No, you definitely toss Keldeo, right? And for ZPanther, you just click Psychic. Your opponent has no play against Psychic. Technically, Zam is her best play, but do you want to do that? No, right? I think ZPanther wins from here because Hazards are just not happening, and so Titar will just annihilate Zamlatios with the help of Lucario as well. Here you click Psychic move. Keldeos, goodbye, Psychic. Latios comes out. Nice double. Except ZPanther doesn't care. Yep, and goodbye Ferrothorn. Focus Blast. Wait, is this Life Orb or is this Sash? Okay, we will... Okay, it is Sash, actually. I'm not getting a single set right, wow. And... Well... You lose to Landorus here, right? From this Scarf Titar. Okay. Alright. Then it's just done. It was done anyway, but this is mega done. Okay, so Landor sees Scarf. You don't see the battle chat, but I do. And HRT is just as confused as I am. She's like, oh, what is the Lando then? I'm so confused. And ZPanther admits that it's Scarf, but it's also Scarf Titar. And Zam also seemed Sash to me, because it only did, what, 50 to Latios with Shadow Ball? 65? 50, maybe not. Okay. So I think Sylveon outplayed herself in the first few turns by... Okay, turn 1 was good, but I think you just called here. Like, what's the point of going Ferrothorn? If your opponent goes hard Jelly Scent on the Keldeo, you still don't want Ferrothorn into it like that. I mean, you're Lumberry, so maybe you may get taunted, and then you still lose the Hazard reward in the long run, which is what you do not need to happen at all. So I think she should have just attacked with Keldeo, and like the optimal play is Call Tour 1 and switch to Ferrothorn 2, I think. Anything else you could do? Probably not. I think that's your best out. If Jellicent comes out, that's fine. You can switch to... Well, actually, we're for attacks belt. You just stay in and click moves, right? Well, you don't heal Jelly into without sand or rocks, so maybe not. This is a pretty tough one. No, it's Specs Latios too, so it's Sash Zam, so you want to save the Sash. Do you need the Sash on Zam? Probably not, actually. Okay, so if you get it wrong here, and turn 1 you skull into Jellicent, you just... Or Hydro Pump, I don't even know what the Keller was. Probably skull though, hopefully. And then Jellicent comes out, I think you hard Zam and just click your super effective move on Zam. Preferably Grass Knot. Even if you get your... Oh, well, that is if you have Grass Knot, because probably Sash Zam, so maybe you don't have a move to hit Jelly. That's... In that case, I think you have to mega outplay your opponent, but surely you don't go Keldeo into Ferrothorn like this. That's just weird. What you can do, if that happens, is you HP Ghost / Grass turn 2, do your 50% bit less damage, and then as the Jellicent Will-O-Wisps you, and then 1, your opponent has to hit a 75 accuracy move, so that's a solid start for you. And 2, it doesn't matter because the next turn is forced to recover, right? So then you can go Ferrothorn, and then you can hard Power Whip probably, or you can also try to get rocks up, which is what I will do personally. That will still mean you end up with a billion others up on your field, but it gives you an out with your Lando Zam into this team. A better one at least. So yeah, I think that's how you should play this. Yeah. This is a pretty hard matchup, I think, anyway, even if you play it perfectly, so it's losing is... You should lose most of the times against someone who is around your skill level. So, yep. There are outs, maybe, I'm not sure there are. What if you lead Latios? No, because you are Specs and you surf into a Jelly Tita. No, Keldeo is definitely the lead. We have to reconsider the next few turns. Alright, game 3. Let's see, we have hit another Scargelli. Okay. ZPanther has places to be. He doesn't have time to play games longer than 20 turns. So understandable. Pretty cool, I would say. Scargelli again against another double psychic team, except she dropped Keldeo for Jellicent. This probably is slightly worse in this matchup. On this type of teams, Thundurus is usually double dance. I mean, that's what I run at least. You shouldn't do what I do though. Sometimes you should, most of the times you shouldn't. Against Scarf-Titar probably, and Sash Zam. Actually, it could be Life or Zam and like Scarf Latios. The Titar is probably Scarf again. The deal with Scarf Titar on these teams is that it's your only way to not get spun on by Starmie, right? So you get rocks, spikes up, and then the last thing you want is to see Starmie just spin for free. Leads. What do you lead if you're Sylveon? This is a pretty tough one. It's fire move Titar. Maybe you should just lead Titar. Maybe this one is not fire move. Okay, here's what I will do. I will lead Titar if I were Sylveon, and just T-Wave turn 1, if you have it, which you probably should with this setup. If you don't, but have Fire Move, you can click that, although be careful because Fire Blast will trigger Kust up. But that's fine. I believe it's still okay. I will lead Titar 100% and click either Thunder Wave or Fire Move. And if I click Thunder Wave and get taunted, I just forfeit. See you next game, because I'm kind of doomed. Well, not necessarily. It will be very hard though, anyway. I expect her to lose this one too. Scargelli is just dishonest in a lot of these matchups. But let's see, maybe she can find a way to flip the matchup, which I hope so. Because this game is not gonna last long if she can't. Okay, there it is. Specs Latios. I think Specs. This okay. Block the spikes temporarily. Do you surf again? Oh, just Draco. Oh, it's White Herb? No. If this was White Herb, it would have been much cooler, but it wasn't, sadly. So now you Titar. Are we faster than Jelly? I mean, it's not impossible. Oh, crit, which means it's in custom range. Probably didn't matter. Skarmory is always faster anyway. Yeah, you just kill the Skarmory. And out comes Titar. Oh yeah, that's one thing I didn't consider. If you have Titar on the field as a Sylveon, like here, your opponent doesn't really have a good play into it if it's full health. Although it only stops this play for a couple of times, but it's still nice, right? So ZPanther probably just superpowers, right? There's no way you beam here, if you even have beam. This could be not Scarf, but I expect this to be Scarf. You get rocks up, very nice. Now, what do you do? I think you U-turn out to Alakazam and just mash buttons. That's what I will do. And I mean, do I need the Sash this game? No, right? I mean, technically, you could always need it at a later date, but let's be real. You really need to get something done with Zam now against Jelly. Even if you get Scalded or Nightshaded, that's fine. If you get Shadow Ball, whatever. I'm assuming it's Sash Zam. If it's Sash Zam, do you do enough though? I think you have to go for it anyway. I U-turn to Zam. Jelly. Oh, very nice play. Okay, never mind. She outplayed me. Good job. Problem here. Is there a problem? Not really, right? You just Wisp. Probably both jellies should wisp each other. You can... Well, if you know your speed, how fast you are, you can make a case for taunt from both players, by the way. Like, if you're pretty fast jelly, which is a thing, you can just taunt from both sides. Sylveon is probably fast, right? Balloon jelly is often... No, you need the bull for Exca. To not die to Iron Head Flinch. I think you do anyway, actually. I Wisp here. Whatever. Fuck it. And... Nice. Oh, it is Shadow Ball Jelly. That's 40%. This is fine. You probably recover. Yeah, you're faster, so of course you recover. Wisp Miss. Oh, now you Hard Zam. Hard Zam is the play of all time. Actually, no, you're punished with Shadow Ball here. Oh, never mind. Taunting a Wisp. Oh, you can just taunt and spam recover. Oh, yeah, you can also attack once. So here you recover and then... Well, the jelly should die in... Oh, she doesn't want to risk drops or crits. That's also fair. It's not like you need jelly. Okay, Pharaoh comes out. Okay, what do you do here if you're ZPanther? Do you just go Thunderous? I guess. Thunderous is never sweeping anyway. There's some Latios and Titar on the other side. I'm assuming this is double dance, so you also don't hit Ferroton probably, but you just plot and Thunderbolt until it dies. Yeah, that's what I will do. It's probably still game losing, but what else do you do? Do you go Zam? Assuming you're Fire Grass, you don't kill Titar. And you also struggle against Zam, and maybe even against Landorus, depending on your set and your EVs. Latios, obviously not. Not even if you're Fire, I think. Okay, Zam comes out. Ooh, very good, Zam. And, oh, okay. Got him. Ferrotor dies, and here you Grassnot. That's 39%, but if it did so little, yeah, you hit Pursuit. Wow. That was a... Oh, what a turn of event. Titar leaves Confusion and doesn't get it. Wow, okay. So, Pursuit not killing, turn 18 didn't matter. Because a Titar at 24% versus a Titar at 1%, let me tell you, yeah, no biggie. Here you crunch, but then Lando comes out. I guess you're okay with that, because then you switch Ice Beam. Okay, but Latios, are we sure about this? This is a game-losing play. I think you go Zam. Again, yeah, you lose the Sash, but... like, you lose it anyway by doing this. And there comes the Focus Blast. Oh man, imagine if you had a Latios here. It would be so much easier. You could T-Wave the Latios even with Zam. Surely it's not Scarf on this team. Okay, if it is, you can still win, because you can... You sacrifice Zam to Surf, and then go Latios and recover. And then, I mean, it's unchoice Latios, so I'm assuming recover. Oh, you were even faster. It's not T-Way probably, but come on. So close to winning. Just an unfortunate choice at the end of going Latios on beam-locked Titar. If here you go Zam, I think you win. Your opponent, I mean, yeah, you can get Ice Beam frozen, or as you miss Focus Blast. But even then, okay, then you got unlucky, right? That's just the game. Like, Mons is Mons, so that's fine. But if you go Zamir and hit Focus Blast, even if your opponent switches, I think they lose. Let's say they switch. Okay, see, if they got Thunderous and you hit Focus Blast, then they die to Psychic, so they lose. Well, they don't lose. They still have to dodge a Focus Blast, though. If they go Latios, they probably leave Shadow Ball. But I think you switch out of Latios and just go your own Latios. It is a very dangerous game to play, but or you can just mash buttons with Zam and hope for the best. That's fine too. In fact, that's probably my first reaction will be to do that. Slightly sloppy execution at the end, which is unfortunate because she was doing well up to the last 5 or so turns. ZPanther, when you play teams like these, there's really not much to comment. They kind of play themselves. I think this build is a bit weird, but I don't know. Thunderous, without spin, without rain, without support, not a fan. But yeah, this was pretty fun still. There was a lot of flashy plays. Like the Zam on Leech Seed was pretty hype, so good job guys. Keep it up. See you next time.